They ask, Tendai asks, how many more years until you think rap dies down?
I think it's time that a new genre needs to come in.
Are you going to progress into that if you like that music as opposed to hip hop?
I don't know. I like everything surrounding hip hop. I also like the attitude that most people had towards hip hop, at least OG hip hop, or let's say pre 2012, because it's like more people aren't sensitive like other genres. People are pussies. It's like soft as hell, and I don't like that.
Hip hop's low.
The reason I say that, I wouldn't say it's conservative, maybe socially, but it's just more tolerant of just not giving a fuck.
Right.
But if you remember, like rock music, it had like what, like a 40-year run.
Do you think rap might also?
Yeah. I mean, when would you say like rock music peaked? I'd say maybe like end of 2000s. Not peaked, but like that was like the last big move.
Like alternative you're talking about?
Nah, I mean,
like who was rock in 2000s?
Paramore.
I wasn't really into music at that time, so I don't know.
It was more like pop punk.
Yeah, alternative. You're talking about like...
Nah, that's not alternative. Alternative is like alt J and shit like that.
Alternative rock.
That's
like All American Reject and like, I don't know.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or Panic at the Disco. All that was like late 2000s.
Yeah. Is that encompassed in your rock?
I would say after. Yeah, of course that's rock.
Okay.
So I would say that's when
I agree.
Things like maybe that was like the tail end. I would say like maybe 2010. Then it was.
Then rap
so that's
took over.
2010 going back to what? Freaking 60s or 70s. I would say 70s. That's like 40 years. Hip hop didn't really take off till like
2000s.
hip hop, like 90s. We'll say 90s. So it's been 30 something years right now.
So you think we're at the tail end?
I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if like in 7-8 years something will, something new will be born. But I do think if it's born, it'll be born out of hip hop. I don't think it'll just be something randomly that comes out. But it's hard to predict this kind of stuff. Like nobody would have predicted, the next poppin' genre is going to be some hip hop stuff.
But okay, so if we're going by the same, let's see, just chronological progress. So hip hop started or got more popular at least in 90s. Meanwhile, rock was in its peak already. Then it died off 2010. Hip hop started blowing up around mid 2000s, I want to say. Right?
Yeah, we'll say died off as the dominant genre.
Right.
Yeah.
So hip hop took over. It's still top, but EDM has maybe taken the place of the newer genre that hip hop once was, while rock was the peak. So do you think EDM has a chance?
I think globally EDM is a more popular genre. I think people in America are very limited in terms of what people are listening to in the rest of the world. And they think hip hop is the biggest genre in the United States. And then they say, oh, hip hop, a bunch of people within hip hop say, oh, hip hop's the biggest genre in the world. That is not true at all. Honestly, Afrobeat or whatever, or I'd probably say EDM is the most popular genre in the world.
Really?
Yeah, dude, just look at. I also think these guys' music lasts way longer. Like people are going back and listening to, let's say, like Galantis records or Calvin Harris records. Although Calvin Harris kind of dips his toe into pop and hip hop a little bit, but a lot of these DJs like Skrillex records, Zed records, these guys, even if they don't put out music, Marshmello, we've got like 30 million plus monthly listeners consistently, and it's from older music. And they're always doing shows, and their music is constantly getting played at shows. I don't know if it's a dominant genre because it doesn't have much of a like culture,
Personality.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like the culture is around the events
It's around the
as
raves.
opposed to like the lifestyle. I don't think it's like, just me personally, I don't think it's cool at all. It's like a bunch of chicks, like, you know, like they have a bunch of glitter and they're like half naked, like and a bunch of dudes like doing Molly.
I
Like,
went
what's
to
so
a bunch
cool
of
about
those
that?
in college because in Miami, like that's the most popular thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the event. Like the event seems cool, but the culture surrounding it is like what exists here. Whereas like
Hip hop shows are nothing like EDM. Like everybody at hip hop shows is like tries to big dick you. Are you there?
do you think that's still the case?
Yeah, like when you go to Rolling Loud, like everybody's like smoking, like trying to be all fucking alpha. When you go to an EDM show, everybody's like, "Oh, you want some water? You need some gum, or like you want me to massage you?" I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with y'all?"
Yeah, people are definitely nicer. It's a different crowd entirely.
Yeah,
It honestly feels like a different world.
it is a different world, especially because everybody's on fucking Molly.
Yeah, that's true. But being at these events on nothing is
It's
a really
weird.
eye-opening. It's an eye-opening experience.
I don't think I've ever done that.
No, you got to do it. You're
In a
just
good way or a
you're just
bad
gonna
way?
Feel like, nah, it's a great way because you get to see these people and you're like, damn, I can't believe this person's doing this right now, but they don't know what the hell they're doing. Like you just get to see a unique perspective. Like some people may feel uncomfortable, but no, I like it. I like those events. Although I've only gone to like maybe one or two. I don't go to the big ones because just big festivals, it's a miserable experience. Like for example, I think there was like this thing called Electric Zoo.
Heard about it.
I knew some people I knew that were in New York. They went to it. They were basically saying they had to walk 2 hours at the end of it because there's no Uber, there's no whatever, and it's all this traffic, foot traffic. I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that. And then you've been out all day, you can barely find water. All these stalls smell like piss and freaking feces. I'm not trying to live.
I
And then
went into a stall, it was bloody. I was like, oh,
dog. It's filthy. A bunch of sweaty people like all on top of each other. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good.
yeah, you don't want to get monkeypox.
Same thing with Rolling Loud. Like that's why I wouldn't go to Rolling Loud. I would definitely not go backstage in Rolling Loud. And I'm definitely not going in the middle of the crowd either because that seems unpleasant.
Why wouldn't you go backstage?
But I ain't go anywhere where rappers are at. I'm good off that.
Why?
Because you don't know you don't know how people feel towards you. Like for example, you may be in a position where there's a bunch of rappers, some rapper, you said something about him that you don't even remember 2 years ago, but that's still in his mind and that's how he remembers you. So you don't even know who feels a certain type of way towards you. And I also think it's part of
Who your enemies are?
it's part of our activity. Let's use that word. It's part of our activity to keep a strong distance away from rappers in order to be objective.
True.
And that's just like specifically for like me and you, because I feel like people come to you because they're like, yo, you're going to give us, like your true opinion and not consider, oh, this person's my friend. I talk to this person. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I'm going to tone down the way I talk about this album or whatever they're doing. It's impossible to do that if you're freaking
Friends.
trying to maintain a cordial relationship as well.